Las Vegas was once the land of cheap thrills. $5 steak dinners, free drinks at the slots, and the promise of leaving richer than you arrived. But in 2025, stepping onto the Strip feels less like a playground and more like a wallet ambush. Surprise fees pop up everywhere. Resort fees, parking fees, even charges for housekeeping that doesn't actually happen. Visitors aren't asking, "What show should we see tonight?" They're asking, "What's the next hidden fee waiting to hit me?" Las Vegas used to be the perfect escape. Cheap buffets, quickie weddings, neon lights, and wild nights. But by 2025, everything has changed. Visitors are paying more and getting less, and the fun per dollar ratio is crashing hard. In this video, we're breaking down the real reasons why so many people are leaving Vegas disappointed. We've gathered insights from real reviews, local news, and insider experiences to pinpoint exactly what's turning tourists away. Below are 9 of the most absurd fees quietly draining people's wallets and pushing them out of Las Vegas in 2025. Stay with us, because the number 1 fee might just make you rethink your next Vegas trip altogether. Kicking off our countdown at number 9 is the dreaded early check-in fee. Arrive at your hotel at 1 p.m. instead of 3 p.m. That'll be $40.75, please. Never mind that your room is already clean and empty. Vegas will still charge you for daring to show up early. For many visitors, this feels like being penalized for trying to enjoy the city a little longer. Worse, some hotels now offer early check-in packages that include absolutely nothing new, except the fee. Imagine landing after a long flight, exhausted and sweaty, only to be told, "Sure, you can rest, if you pay." It sets the tone for a trip that feels more like a transaction than a vacation, and in 2025, this fee is spreading fast. Guests across Reddit forums and travel sites complain that they're being asked to pay even when dozens of rooms are available, with staff admitting it's just policy. Some unlucky travelers describe sitting in the lobby for 2 hours, watching their exact room sit ready, but being denied entry unless they swiped a card again. Back in the 1990s and 2000s, Vegas hotels were known for the opposite approach, welcoming early birds, offering upgrades, and building loyalty through generosity. Today, that goodwill is gone. The message now is brutally clear. Comfort has a price tag even before your trip begins. For a city that once thrived on making guests feel lucky, starting a vacation by demanding another $50 feels like the unluckiest roll of the dice. Number 8 on our list is the infamous resort fee, a charge that feels more like a prank than a service. You book a $99 room only to get hit with an extra $45, $60 per night for Wi-Fi you barely use, gym access you never asked for, and a pool that's either closed or overcrowded. Many travelers say it feels like Vegas hotels are selling you the illusion of value while quietly inflating the bill. Even worse, these fees are mandatory. You can't opt out. Even if you arrive at midnight, skip the gym, and never touch the internet. It's like buying a soda and being charged for the cup, the lid, and the privilege of holding it. In 2025, some hotels are now hiding this fee until checkout, making the sting even worse. Resort fees have become the symbol of everything that's gone wrong with the Vegas experience. But the frustration goes beyond just the dollar amount. Visitors compare it to a bait-and-switch scheme. The flashy advertised price draws you in only for the true cost to reveal itself later. On travel review sites, phrases like scam, deceptive, and unethical appear again and again. Longtime Vegas fans remember when the trade was honest, cheap rooms and buffets in exchange for your time on the casino floor. Now, the trade feels dishonest. Pay for services you didn't want at a cost you never agreed to. Some guests even joke that the resort fee is Vegas's new slot machine. No matter how you play, the house always wins. And while other cities are experimenting with transparency laws to crack down on hidden fees, Vegas continues doubling down. The result is a growing sense of mistrust, as travelers wonder if the very price of your room is a trick, what else in the city is just smoke and mirrors? Coming in at number 7 is something that used to be free: parking. For decades, free parking was one of the quiet but powerful perks of Las Vegas. It didn't matter if you were a high roller or just stopping by to people watch. You could pull into a casino garage, leave your car, and step right into the action without worrying about a meter. But in 2025, that small kindness has all but disappeared. Today, parking on the Strip often costs $15 to $30 per day, and prices spike even higher during concerts, fight nights, or big conventions. Some garages no longer offer validation, a perk locals once relied on when grabbing dinner or catching a quick show. For road trippers and budget travelers, it feels like being charged just to stand still. One Reddit user joked, "You lose money in Vegas before you even hit the slots, just by turning off the ignition." The change has reshaped the entire mood of the city. Where garages once felt like an open invitation, they now feel like toll booths guarding the casinos. Traffic clogs more easily because visitors circle around searching for cheaper options, sometimes driving all the way off the Strip to distant lots. Locals complain the loss of free parking has stripped away part of what made Vegas feel generous and accessible, transforming it into something closer to an overpriced theme park. And while casinos defend the move as standard industry practice, many travelers say it signals something deeper. A city that used to welcome you is now taxing your presence. The simple act of arriving has become the first spin of the wheel, and in this game, you lose before you even start. Number 6 hits where it hurts. Vegas buffets. Once legendary for their size and value, they've now become overpriced, overcrowded, and, let's be honest, underwhelming. The days of $14 lobster tails and endless crab legs are long gone. In 2025, most major hotel buffets run $45 to $60 per person, with some pushing $80 for so-called premium options. And what do you get? Lukewarm food, long lines, and dining rooms that feel more like airport gates than dining halls. Many travelers now say the buffet experience has flipped from highlight to hassle. What used to be a fun ritual, loading up your plate with shrimp cocktail, steak, and desserts, now feels like a race to justify the money you've already spent. Some buffets require online reservations days in advance, and if you're late, too bad, no refund. A father on TripAdvisor complained that his family of 4 spent nearly $300 at a Strip buffet, only to leave hungry because the kids didn't like anything offered. Others note that portions of once proud buffets are shrinking, fewer seafood selections, cheaper cuts of meat, and desserts that taste straight out of a freezer. In the 1990s, buffets symbolized Vegas generosity. Come hungry, leave full, all for pocket change. Today, they symbolize corporate stinginess. Pay premium prices, accept mediocre quality, and try not to think about how much better it used to be. Even locals admit they avoid buffets now, preferring off-strip diners or simple sit-down restaurants where at least the food is hot and the bill feels honest. For visitors who grew up dreaming of Vegas buffets, the reality is crushing. Instead of a royal feast, you're left with a bill that tastes more bitter than the food itself. Cracking into the top 5 is a category of charges so bizarre, they almost feel made up. Some Vegas hotels now charge guests for things like using the in-room safe, $35 per day, printing a boarding pass in the lobby, $2 or even receiving packages at the front desk. These fees are often buried in fine print or added at checkout, leaving guests stunned. One traveler reported being billed $25 for a hospitality fee that supposedly included bottled water, which was never provided. Others complain about energy surcharges or tourism recovery fees with no explanation at all. In 2025, these charges are multiplying like weeds, adding insult to injury for travelers who already paid high room rates and resort fees. Reviews online are filled with stories of guests being blindsided. A business traveler charged $15 for a single page printed in the lobby, or a honeymoon couple shocked by a mysterious amenities fee that covered nothing. In the past, Vegas thrived on clear bargains. You knew what you were paying for and what you were getting. Now, the line has blurred. These tiny but relentless add-ons erode trust, making even the simplest transaction feel like a hustle. Many compare it to being nickeled and dimed by an overzealous street hustler, except this time it's happening in a billion-dollar hotel. The irony? Instead of enhancing the guest experience, these bizarre fees only remind visitors that every breath in Vegas has a price tag. And when hospitality becomes indistinguishable from trickery, the magic of the city fades into frustration. At number 4, the Vegas fees start before your vacation even begins. Flying into Las Vegas has become its own mini headache thanks to airlines stacking on extra charges. Spirit, Frontier, and even major carriers now hit travelers with baggage fees, seat selection charges, and convenience fees that can add $100 or more per person each way. Some budget airlines even charge for carry-ons or for printing your boarding pass at the airport. And if you think booking early saves you money, think again. Flights to Vegas are often subject to event pricing, with fares spiking during major conferences, concerts, or big sporting weekends. For many travelers, this feels like a trap. Cheap teaser fares lure you in, only for the real cost to pile on later. Reviews are filled with frustrated passengers who bought a $79 ticket only to end up paying over $250 after add-ons. In the past, airlines promoted Vegas as a low-cost getaway, bundling flights and hotel packages that truly felt like a bargain. Today, that sense of value is gone. Worse, it taints the trip before it even starts. Imagine stepping off the plane already annoyed, realizing you've spent half your budget on extras you didn't plan for. For some, the sour mood carries straight into their hotel stay, amplifying every other fee Vegas throws their way. The journey to Sin City used to build excitement, with neon ads in the terminal and fellow passengers buzzing about shows and jackpots. Now it often builds resentment, as travelers grumble over surprise fees before they even glimpse the Strip. If the gamble starts at the airport, it's no wonder so many arrive in Vegas feeling like they've already lost. Landing at number 3 is something longtime Vegas lovers really miss: the free cocktail. It used to be simple. Sit at a slot machine, order a drink, and sip away while you played. But in 2025, casinos are cracking down hard. Many now require a minimum bet per spin, tracked digitally. No bet, no booze. Some even use sensors that monitor how much you're gambling before a server is dispatched. Guests report waiting 30 minutes or more for a watery drink or being ignored entirely if they're playing too slowly. And when the drink finally arrives, it's rarely anything to brag about. Bottom shelf liquor, mixed with cheap soda, just enough alcohol to qualify as a cocktail. The old magic of sipping a free martini while gambling is gone, replaced with the feeling of being monitored and rationed. A tourist on Yelp described it perfectly. It felt like I was in a hospital ward, begging for my next dose. In the past, free cocktails were part of the unspoken deal. Casinos kept you happy and buzzed so you'd stay at the machines longer. It was a win-win. You got a free drink, they got your quarters. Today, the win-win is gone. Casinos save money by cutting corners, but guests feel shortchanged and unwelcome. Some players even bring their own flasks, a quiet rebellion against stingy service. Others skip the casino altogether, preferring bars where at least the drinks are strong and the rules are clear. What used to be a signature Vegas perk has now become a source of frustration, and for many, it's one of the clearest signs that the city has lost touch with the hospitality that built its reputation. Near the top of this list is something that should never be questionable on any trip: your personal safety. Choosing a hotel should never feel like a gamble, but in 2025, Las Vegas, it sometimes does. Reports of room break-ins, lost items, and careless front desk responses are quietly rising. One guest arrived to find someone else already in their room. Another said their door didn't lock all night. In budget hotels off the Strip, the situation is even worse, with little to no visible security after 10 p.m. Travelers describe double-checking locks, dragging furniture in front of doors, or sleeping uneasily with one eye open. A couple on Reddit wrote about returning to find their luggage rifled through, while management shrugged and blamed housekeeping confusion. Others complain about dark hallways with broken cameras or security staff more interested in their phones than monitoring guests. In the past, Vegas hotels prided themselves on safety, with guards patrolling casinos and surveillance cameras creating a sense of security. That assurance allowed tourists to relax, focus on fun, and forget their worries. Today, that trust is cracking. Even if most stays remain uneventful, the growing number of bad experiences spreads quickly online, tarnishing the image of luxury that hotels work so hard to sell. And here's the irony: visitors are paying more than ever in resort fees, security surcharges, and hidden costs, yet receiving less protection. For many, it feels like betrayal. Safety isn't a perk, it's the bare minimum. If guests can't trust that their room will be secure, the illusion of Vegas hospitality collapses. In a city built on spectacle, letting basic security slide is not just risky, it's unforgivable. You're almost at the peak of absurdity. And here it is. Imagine excitedly opening a surprise gift box only to find a bill that says, "Hello, I'm your cleaning fee. That's Vegas in 2025. Some hotels now charge $25, $50 per night for housekeeping, but don't actually clean daily. Want fresh towels? Call the front desk. Need the trash emptied? Do it yourself. Make a mess? You might get fined. There's no automatic room service unless you ask, and sometimes pay again. Guests report being told to keep it tidy like they're renting an Airbnb, not staying in a hotel. One traveler summed it up perfectly. You want your room cleaned? Okay, pay extra." For many, that's the breaking point. The absurdity isn't just in the cost, it's in the principle. Hotels, by definition, are supposed to provide housekeeping as part of the stay. That was always the trade-off. You pay for the room, and the service is included. Now, Vegas is rewriting the rules, making cleanliness itself a premium feature. Visitors share stories of paying $40 for full service, only to return and find the bed made but the bathroom untouched. Others complain that even after paying, they had to wait until evening because staff was limited. In the past, daily housekeeping was a quiet reassurance, the invisible luxury that made hotel life feel effortless. Today, it feels like a ransom note taped to your door for a city that built its reputation on making guests feel spoiled. Telling them to clean up after themselves is more than tone deaf. It's a betrayal. And when visitors walk away feeling like they've been tricked instead of pampered, Vegas doesn't just lose money, it loses its soul. Beyond the individual fees, what's happening in Las Vegas is part of a larger shift. For decades, the city's business model was simple. Lure guests with cheap rooms and buffets, then make money back through gambling. That model worked because visitors felt they were getting value. They lost at the tables, but they ate like kings and slept like royalty. In 2025, the formula has flipped. Corporate consolidation and profit-hungry executives have turned Vegas into a city of hidden fees and diminished returns. Instead of generosity, the guiding principle is extraction. Squeeze every dollar before the guest even reaches the casino floor. The long-term danger is clear. When the illusion breaks, when visitors realize they are being treated as walking wallets rather than valued guests, they stop coming back. That's already happening. Tourism numbers are slipping, and nearby alternatives, cruise ships, Orlando resorts, even smaller desert towns, are competing with more transparent pricing and better service. Remote work and cheaper travel abroad only accelerate the trend. Vegas risks becoming a caricature of itself, bright on the outside, hollow on the inside. The irony is that the very traits that built its legend, excess, indulgence, and generosity, are being eroded by policies that favor short-term profits over long-term loyalty. If the city doesn't course-correct, it could lose not just tourists, but the cultural cachet that made "What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas" a global slogan. In the end, the real gamble isn't on the casino floor. It's whether Vegas can reclaim its soul before the illusion fades completely. Vegas still dazzles with its lights and promises, but in 2025, many visitors walk away with a different story. A city that feels more like a bill collector than a playground. The question is no longer whether you'll win at the tables, but whether you can escape the endless add-on charges. Maybe you've seen it firsthand. Buffets that disappoint, resort fees that sting, or hotel service that feels like a scam. We'd love to hear your experience. Was Vegas worth it for you, or did it feel like the deck was stacked against you from the start? Drop a comment below, join the conversation, and let others know. And if this video helped you see through the illusion, hit like, subscribe, and share. It's the best way to keep the truth alive.